sorry about the light and everything in the background. Kind of the best spot I can do this. But I just wanted to give you guys a deck profile, especially at YCS Pasadena coming up. I've been playing Swordsoul, DPE Tenyi. Only have slight changes I've made over the last couple weeks, but in the 2 tournaments that I played, I got top 8 and I also got top 4. So it's done really well. In the total of 15 matches I've played, I've only lost 2 matches. So there's only been a slight changes I've made from one tournament to the next one, but the list itself I feel is really good, especially playing DPE. And I'll get straight down to the deck and explain the choices. So getting down to the choices of the deck, like I said, I was playing Tenyis. For as far as my Tenyis, I got 2 Adahara, 2 Vishuddha, 2 Ashina. The reason why I played this ratio is because my first tournament, I was playing just Wash Ashina and 3 Vishuddha, but I realized that playing 2 of this was really good. Especially these cards help with primarily going second. They break board, especially Vishuddha being able to bounce back a card, and it forces negation, which is really good. The weakest one out of them all is Adahara. You have to really set it up where you can banish a worm monster off of the Shishao, and then add it back. You can add back a Moi or like that. So, the explanation behind that, we're gonna change the thing. These are very self-explanatory. The Incredible Ecclesia. It is the best card in the deck as far as like being able to tribute and bring on any Swordsoul monster and continue your combo. This is one of the best starters or extenders. I played 2 Taya. I've seen probably a lot of Premier lists that play 1 or 3, and I think 2 is perfect. I never really side out a copy. Going first or second is never a brick, because you can go Emergence and get Moi, but and then you can, side for the following play. But I like being able to dump a Tenyi monster, worm monster to the graveyard, ban on set up for the token or non-effect monster. So I primarily like having this card, especially going first or primarily going second, where it's like a break your board scenario. Then you play the standard 3 Moye and 3 Langguang. These are very essential. Self-explanatory about what these guys do. And then as I was playing the DPE package, I'll play Plasma and Celestial because I don't have access to a Dasher, so I just play the next best thing. I don't play triple Fusion Destinies because I play Anaconda, and you wanted to increase consistency with the deck. And I haven't had any complaints with it. Of course, I've drawn both of these before, and then I drew Fusion Destiny, and it's just crazy. So that engine is really good. It's for this deck, I primarily believe. And then the best spell in the deck besides anything is Pot of Prosperity. In my first list, I was playing 2, but then I maxed out to 3 because you really don't use too much in this list or your extra deck. That primarily because you have the Shishao and the Baron, like the things that you primarily go into. And Pot Prosperity is insane. Turn 1, this card is fantastic. You can do so much with this card. And what makes this list a little bit better, but also it might struggle again, it doesn't play hand traps. And hand traps is good and all, but at the same time, I want to be able to dig in and get to more of my starter cards and have a board established, because making a Shishao with a Baron and a DPE and having 1 or 2 back row is pretty solid enough as it is, as far as I'm concerned, while playing the deck. And that has really helped me win a lot of games, because this is to me like a mid-range deck that has a lot of control variant to it. So that's what it is. I'm playing 1 Cosmic because at first I was playing 2, and I cut out 1 to play the 3rd Prosperity. The reason why I'm playing the 1 Cosmic because you need an out to Scythe and you need an out to Mystic Mind. And I'm not gonna play MST. I'm not gonna do anything, because if I MST a Scythe, they can just use DPE to pop the Dagna, bring back, and Dagna uses the effect to bring back Scythe, and you still get locked. So the 1 Cosmic, I never break with it, and in both sides you can also side out. In combination, negation wise, I think Dropless and Chalice is really good, primarily currently in the format. These cards help out when it comes to breaking boards and establishing some type of presence, and people don't respect those type of things. Travis has been really good. Dropless has been really good, especially if you play against Drytron and you have to break a board or negations. Like, to me, I don't like playing hand traps with this type of deck because it's primarily like established, board break, or just to control. So these have been really fantastic. Then the Swordsoul cards, shout out to Edward Toussaint. He told me to play Summit, and it was a very good call. This card really comes up, especially going second, to put that extra damage on the field, because when you make Baron with the Long Guang and you burn your opponent for 12, then you have Baron and you have Shishao. They're already at 68, then Shishao and Baron, that's 58. So that leaves your opponent with a 1,000 left, and you can reborn a tile or whatever just to put the extra damage on board. And you got the 3 emergence for the Rhoda. That's really self-explanatory right there. For traps, I play 1 blackout. I never need a second one. It doesn't come up for me as much as some people might for other lists. I've never missed a second one. Only once I've ever banished it off a She-Shot to create a token and go out of hard to add back a war monster. But I just feel like, because this card, I want to search it and make it live as much as possible, because a lot of players play Lightning Storm or a lot of board breaking cards, and I don't want to have this card just sit down and it just be break, it's just dead. So this has been really primarily good at 1. And then another thing I believe this deck needs is real traps. I think Strike and Perm being like my best hand trap, you could say, and being able to turn out cards like IO or anything that could be paramestic, like anti-spell or anything like that. And Strike, a lot of players, this is in a format where people don't respect that. They don't not respect Solemn Strike, and they'll just be like, oh, it's not a real back or anything like that, and they just play right into it, especially in a simplified game state. It's really good. For sideboard, I play the 1 Protoss. I don't main deck Protoss because if I was playing more like a hand trap heavy Tenyi engine, like I was playing more than 6 and going up to 9, then I would main deck Protoss. But I like in the sideboard more than main. 3 lands here. I don't side draw or Nibiru because primarily I didn't play that many mirror matches, probably like 1 or 2, and I've won 1, I lost 1. But I just felt like Lancer was a lot better, you know, primary scenario. Especially against the Tri Brigade, I just don't want my opponent to play at all. So I just shut them out. Drill is primarily for, I didn't think drill was necessary, especially in South Florida. Your Lightning Storm. Storm to me is primarily insane. It forces out back row. It's really good against PK, because the thing is when PK goes off, what people don't understand is you can hit their back row or you can hit all their monsters in attack position. And when PK is like, okay, they make their board and somehow you're able to stop what they're doing, you just like board wipe them, and they need their trap cards first off for them to play, because with Ragged Glove, with Fobble and all that stuff in the graveyard. But if I just board wipe them, and it's like, well, let's see what you can do. So I rather board wipe them instead, and just have traps to slow down the pace and not control. TTT to me is insane. I put this card, if I'm going first or going second, this card is crazy because while I don't play hand traps, people play hand traps. So, and people like, oh, hand traps are really good, so I take advantage of it, and it's helped me out in a lot of scenarios. You can take control of a monster, draw 2, look at their opponent's hand, and set them back a turn. So it's really good. 3 Dark Ruler no more. You need, like, Dark Ruler and Lightning Storm is a crazy combination, and it puts you literally like ahead of your opponent, because this deck is a 1.5 card combo. And 2 anti-spell. Shout out to Marvelous 009, who I was testing with. He suggested I play 2 anti-spell, and the only time that screwed me over was just once, but every time besides that and 7 out of 15 matches, it's been really fantastic. So anti-spell is really good. Extra deck, the Enforcer himself. This guy has won so many games for me. He forced out Call by the Grave. He does so much, and he has to be respected. I like this card. Because I'm not playing too many of the thingy stuff. There's only 2 monks. I cut the 3rd monk to play Anaconda because I wanted to have some way to make DPE, if anything. But If I was playing more pure, I would play the third monk. But for this version, the third monk is Anaconda. So that's self-explanatory. The rest, Yazi, Baxtia, Sushi, Shao. This, I think everything else is pretty much standard. Or Dragai, Chao Fang. Chao Fang was actually on Mega in my first tournament, but then I cut it for Chao Fang on Mega because if I want to know my opponent's playing, I had like multiple extenders. I would go and I had a strike. Instead of going for Shi Shao and adding blackout, I would go Omega, look at my opponent's hand, and then make Baroness and set 2 back row because I would do the Shi Shao play for turn 2 because even having an imperm or anything like that, Omega takes a card from opponent's hand and they're starting off with 4 cards and like go back to 5 instead of 6. So it was really good at first, and then I felt like playing Chao Fang would have helped progress my game state, and it didn't come up. So I don't know what we'll do with it going forward. It might stay or not. One Baroness, you always summon this. This guy is insane. And Rudy Rose. The times I've summoned Rudy Rose has been insane against especially a dry trial matchup. I did lose that match, but it was still pretty good. Hindsight 2020 because I made Shisha to negate, then I made Rudy Rose to banish, and then I used it to make Anaconda and make a DPE. But it still wasn't enough. But still, that is the deck profile, guys. I want to give a shout out also to Team Relinquish and Wolfpack Gaming, on all those who will support me. And until next time, guys. Peace.